And yes, you're very welcome to our featured Daisha Og piece this week, where we're focused on the Waterford under 16 hurling squad, and delighted to be joined on the line now by manager with the Daisha Og under 16 squad and former Waterford hurler. That's Shane Shiner Ahern, who joins us on the line. And I suppose, Shiner, we've been chatting to a lot of development squad mentors and managers throughout the summer, and I suppose the big vibe is, given that they've been so long, I suppose, waiting to get back out onto the pitch, was it just about getting out and really, I suppose, enjoying that moment of getting on the county jersey and representing the county over the summer as well, I suppose?
Yeah, absolutely. Gavin, if you look at 2020, it was a very frustrating year for not only for ourselves kind of involved with teams, but the players themselves. It was horrendous, kind of that the stop-start, no one knew what was happening. So this year, it was the 5th of June before we got to go ahead. It was the first day we could go back together, and we actually went back on that very date, the 5th of June. And, it's been very, very good since. We've enjoyed it a lot. We've looked at a lot of players. We have something like 56 to a certain, in and out, but basically a number of 56 on our squad for the last 3 months, really, kind of every Friday night for the months of June, July and August. And it's been great. Now, while we say we had 56, we had 8 with this year's minor team that we didn't see much of, and that was great that they got a decent run with them. But so we've been very happy the way things went this year.
Yeah, great stuff indeed, absolutely. And as you say, you cast the net wide and far. Shiner, I know there was great representation from various clubs as well, and everyone, I suppose, got their opportunity.
Yeah, if we go back to when we kind of got involved first, was under 15, let's say, and we had trial games, and we trialed something like 109 young lads, and we whittled that down to 56, and then we've worked with them, and there's a great spread of clubs, and we don't kind of care where you're from. If you can play, that's what we want to see, and that's why we kept it a big number to give everyone a chance. And we're also looking at players playing with the clubs as well. There's a lot of minor championships going on, and a lot of clubs depend on some of these 16-year-olds in their minor championships. So we're looking at all those as well. There's only so much you see with a development squad. It's good to see them playing championship with their clubs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the minor championship ongoing as well, absolutely. And I suppose that's what it's about as well, getting around to, I suppose, as many games from your point of view as well, Shiner, and looking at these players and see what they can do, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel a bit of burnout myself at the moment, not to talk to the players, because it's every Wednesday and Sunday and Wednesday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And then there's 4 divisions, so we're trying to divide ourselves out and trying to get to see as many players, because, we're not saying that there's only 56 players that are in our squad. We're looking at everyone, we hope to see even more than that, and players at that age change so much from year to year, from 14 to 15 to 16 to 17. There's a lot of changes. Some players are late developers. Some players that are very good at under 14 kind of slip away a bit by under 17, under 16, under 17. So, we're looking out for all that. And there's certain areas that we're looking for and all that. So, it's a working project, an ongoing project, as the fellow said.
Absolutely, yeah. And throughout the summer then as well, Shane, I know you participated in various blitzes and matches as well. Did you get many of those in, or was it mainly kind of in training regimes? Or maybe you might give us an outline of how the summer went.
Yeah, I suppose squad night is Friday night, and that was fairly well adhered to, for the months of June, July and August. Every squad, be it hurling or football, underage in Waterford, is trained on the Friday night, and it meant that kind of clubs knew that, and they adhered to it, so they couldn't be playing kind of switching matches, and that the boards didn't fix matches and what have you. So that was fairly well adhered to, and so it was every Friday night, June, July and August, either in Carriganore or the Gold Coast, kind of alternate Friday nights, and and then we had dates that we were allowed from Croke Park, that we were allowed to play matches in 1 in June, 1 in July, and 2 in August. We actually got to play 1 in August, but so at least we got to play some matches, as against. You look at last year, we're hardly together at all, So, it's been a big improvement this year, and maybe more for next year. The development squad is, this year, it's a system, the way it's been brought, and we're maybe 90% of the way of where we want to be. And there's good structure there, and it's good communication, up and down, and that, So, I'll be very happy with this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to see. I know there's a lot of work going on the ground as well, in grassroots, in terms of Jason Ryan and Benji Whelan and these guys at the top as well, liaising with the squads as well. Shane, maybe for a few years we were behind in that regard, but this year, have you seen kind of significant progress, I suppose, on that front?
Yeah, there's a very good structure there now at the moment, and like I suppose we were doing a lot of Zoom meetings in the early part of the year to try and set this up. Kind of started, we say at the top of the pyramid is Jason Ryan, and then kind of he has, we say, down the football side he has Benji Whelan, and down the hurling side there's Jonathan Moore, and then all the different development squads feed into that. And then as well as that, you have Jerry Fitzpatrick overlooking all the strength and conditioning. I would have Mark McConnell and Evan Corn with me doing the strength and conditioning, but they're part of a process that Jerry Fitzpatrick has put in, whereby everybody's answer to Jerry Fitzpatrick down in that line. So there's a structure there. He knows kind of what's been done with an under 14 is appropriate, and under 15 and under 16 and under 17 is appropriate to their age, and a follow up from the previous year and all that. So there's a great structure there, and this is all coming, kind of, we say, again with Owen Morrissey, our coaching officer, and Owen Brannock in Welsh Park. So there's a good group of people there to liaise with and to help out, to kind of get advice from, as well as that there's mentors for each development squad as well. I have Fergal Hartley, and there's some great structures being put in. As I say, I would say, well, maybe 90% of the way to get to where we want to get to, like.
Yeah, great stuff indeed. And you mentioned that the strength and conditioning side of it as well, which was introduced, the various interns with the various squads as well, Shane. And I suppose that's an important element, I suppose, of the modern game. And you look at the size, I suppose, even the Cork minor team that played Waterford that night, the sheer, not alone their hurling, but the strength of them as well. And I suppose we're starting to get up to that level now, I suppose, here in Waterford.
Yeah, absolutely. I've mentioned Mark McConnell and Evan Corn with us, and they kind of complement each other very well, and they go very well together. And make sure that there's always someone there, and there's a continuity there as well. But we can't forget about the hurling side of things either. Brendan Landers side or from Lismore is my hurling coach, and we make sure that there's kind of we're not missing out on anything. We're trying to get in as much hurling and as much strength and conditioning as possible, and getting a balance. And it depends on any particular night what's coming up, or what fellas, is it more physical tonight or more hurling tonight, and vice versa. So there's a good balance there, and I think there's a good variety there, and that's what these young lads like. And as I said, there's good oversight on it then as well, that the right thing has been done for these chaps at their particular age.
Yeah, super stuff indeed. And you mentioned Brendan Landers as well, former Waterford goalie, of course, as well. Shane, you might give us an outline as well of who else is involved with you there in the backroom team.
Yeah, I have a good team there. In fairness, there's Brian Mackey from Ballygunner is a selector with me as well, and Flannan Cleary from Kill. Flannan is a PE teacher out at Tramore, and Patricia Welsh is doing secretary to the team, and young Owen O'Neill and nephew of mine is doing first aid. And of course we have our special man, Anthony Glavin, does hurlings and slitters. Anthony Glavin from Ballystaggart. I'm not really sure what he does, but he's there as our kit man, let's say.
He's down as a legend, all right, isn't he? In fairness, I'd say there's not much going astray with him there, Shiner.
Every time he turns up, he's looking for new gear for more. That's all I know. So it'd be more important now if he went looking for slitters than looking for gear. But however, that's what we're up against. Exactly,
yeah. But overall, I suppose, Shiner, you enjoyed the summer, even though it was kind of truncated, and for a while we didn't think we'd see any games. And now I suppose these guys, hopefully a lot of these now will go on and represent the county at maybe minor, under 20 senior down the line as well. And that's what the development squad structure, I suppose, is about, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a good structure there, as I say, and there's a good discipline on it now that Friday night is squad night, and that's very special that we keep that, and I got great pleasure this year watching our Waterford minor team, because we had 8 of our group that kind of stepped up to be involved with the minor team, which meant we didn't see him, but that's what you want to do, is you want to kind of prepare for the step up. And I think our group of men that went into the minor team, they took the step up and handled it very well. They will now come back to our group kind of, from now on, let's say, and you'd hope that they would show leadership and kind of, bring on our group and really add to our group and bring up the standards for our group. So, like anyone coaching underage, that's all you want to do is do right by him and to hand him on in a better place than when you got him. And I think the 8 lads that we handed up to the minor team definitely proved that this year.
Yeah, certainly did indeed. A great run they had, and of course they'll come back into you. I know you're still under 16 at the minute, Shane, but as regards maybe going forward and then for next year, have you any outline, I suppose, of where the squad is or where maybe the management team is at the moment?
Yeah, well, I suppose at the moment what we're doing now is we're taking a break after tonight, Friday night, for the month of September, because I'll say there's a lot of these lads, they're all playing minor with their clubs, and there's a lot of fixtures going on. So we'll be taking a break for the month of September, and then we'll be coming back as a reduced development squad, let's say, in October and November, with the possibility or with the hope that we'll be taking them on to minor next year. But there's a few T's to be crossed and I's to be dotted before that. But yes, we will be back in October and November as an under-16 development squad to tune them a bit better for next year's minor team, and hopefully maybe it will be our own setup like there.
Great stuff, great stuff. Well, keep up the good work, Shane Ahern, as always. Really appreciate you joining us, and to you and all the under-16 development squad, keep up the good work, and thanks for a great summer.
Thanks very much.